One of my favorite shows is The Office. And there are a lot of reasons that it's my favorite show, but I think it could probably be the best show, or at least comedy show, on television, or at least that played on television. And because of that, I think that because there are a lot of factors that they put into play when they were creating the story and all of it, and originally it started from a different TV show called The Office, but it was from New England, and that show did not pick up as well as they had hoped it would. And so some American producers came by, and they said, I bet we could do this just as well. And so they came, and they took the idea, and they just put their spin on it, and it turned out to be a huge success. After everything was created, and the 9 shows came through, or seasons came through, they were nominated 200 times for different Emmys. Of those, 50 of them they won, which is a huge amount. And as of now, Game of Thrones, which has 46 Emmys, is still behind that. And this show came out and finished in 2011, which is pretty crazy. It still has more Emmys than Game of Thrones, which even though it is new, is still a great show. But The Office is great because it has many aspects that at the time were prevalent in society, and especially in the United States, being that a lot of people were working in office-type scenarios. So when they would come home, they'd want to relax, and they'd want to say, when you get home, you like to relax. You're done with work, you're done with school, all that. You just need something to get off your brain, to just chill, just sit down. So they'd come home, they'd see The Office is on, and they'd watch it. And it's very cathartic. It's a cathartic experience when you're watching it, because it's like, hey, I work in an office, and these things could happen, and in some cases they would happen. And it's just really nice to come home and see a different outtake on a life that you're not necessarily living, but you are living in a sense. And I know that's kind of confusing how I'm saying this, but basically I'm just saying that it's another way that you could be living your life, and it just makes you feel like that could be you. And just the characters in it too. Then you go back to your office or whatever, and you think, hey, this character is kind of like Dwight. This character is like Michael, and all these characters, you just find out so much about them, and you learn to love them. And because of that, this brings me to one of my most important topics and points about why The Office is so great, and it's because the character development in it is amazing. And as soon as you start watching it, you instantly fall in love with the characters. Each of the characters is unique and has just great dialogue, and a lot of it is also improv, which is really impressive considering how funny it is. Steve Carell, who is Michael and the manager of The Office, does a phenomenal job in all of his skits that he has, and he just brings the story to life. One of his co-stars, Dwight K. Schrute, which is assistant to regional manager, is hilarious as well. He's over the top, he's quirky, he's funny, and he just always makes you laugh. And it's just like, he's a character that you'd be like, oh, I wish I worked with this guy, or I wish this would happen in my life. And then sometimes, for example, my dad's case, some things had happened from The Office that also happened in his life. My dad worked in CAD, which is computer software and stuff, but that is not important. But the point is, he worked in an office, and it was a huge office. And his boss wasn't like Michael, but was a real pain in the butt. So one of my dad's coworkers decided to take a jar of mayonnaise and defecated in it. Now, that's not the greatest thing, but in the office, that happens to Michael. And my dad, after that had happened, had gone home, and that same day, The Office he watched a run of it, and he saw that episode, which he thought was just completely hilarious. And it just kind of showed like how The Office, even though it's over the top, crazy, and just completely bizarre at times, it can still relate to your office life. And it just made him look back, and it's just like, wow, that's just really cool. And it's just relaxing. It's cool to see that. And then another reason is the plot. The plot is just amazing in it. Each episode is engaging, and it makes you think about it way past it. And that's really important, because any story that you read, or even speech, as I'm giving now, you want it to leave a lasting impression, and each episode of The Office always leaves a lasting impression. As of now, I quote The Office on a daily. I'll say, sometimes I start a sentence, and I don't know I don't know what I'm going to say, I just hope I find it along the way. And that's one of Michael's most famous lines, and because of that, he's just gained so much popularity from those quotes, and then I can make that part of my life, and it's just cool to see how, you know, you'll be talking to someone, and then you'll say something, and you don't even think that you're quoting The Office, but you are, and then maybe someone else will say something, and they quote it, and you instantly find a connection. And I just think because of these reasons, being great character development, a strong plot, and how it's super relatable, at least for the time period that it was, 2011 when it ended, by the way, I just think that adds to making it a great comedy, and probably the best comedy that was ever on TV.